For me, the three most important things to sort out before you start a youth group is you want to have people in your church. You want to have young people in your church, I think, who are keen to see the youth group started. I think you want to have families who are sort of getting that groundswell up off the ground to say, okay, let's do this, let's get this started. You want to have young people who are keen. You want to have a little core. I don't think the core has to be that big, but it's a bit like church planting. You want to have a kind of core group there who are keen to see this happen. So I think that's the first thing, is to have families in your church with young people there already who are going to form the core, so that then they can go on, tell their friends about it, bring their friends along, spread the word in their own networks. So to have those kind of families there in church already, I think is really important. The second one that I think is really important is to have a vision for the youth group, to decide what sort of model you're going to choose, to decide where you want the youth group to end up, to decide how you want to start, what sort of format you're going to take. And I think the most important thing in that, in terms of the vision and model that you're going to choose, is how you're going to teach the Bible in that space. So for us, it would look quite different to a lot of other youth groups around, but for us, we had to work that out early on. How are we going to teach the Bible? We didn't want to just make it a drop-in centre where youth come along and just eat and have a good time, but we really wanted to teach them the Bible, teach them the truth of God, teach them the gospel. So for us, that was really important, to work out how are we going to teach the Bible to these young people. So to get that sorted out early on, I think is really important. And to have that as your kind of DNA moving forward. So young people come along to youth knowing they're going to hear the Bible, they're going to hear the gospel, they're going to hear about Jesus every week. I think that's really important. The third thing is to have the resources behind it. It's really important, I think, early on for the church to decide together, this is something we're passionate about, this is something we value, we want the youth group to go well, we want to put money behind it, we want to put resources behind it, we want to send leaders and grow up leaders so they can lead in the youth group. So to have those things in place, I think is really important. And for us as a youth group, it was so important for us to get that right, because we needed a bus, and thankfully, God raised up lots of people that gave towards that project to buy a bus for the youth group so we could run that. And we had leaders from our own church, and we had leaders from other churches come and help us out too. And that formed the resources of the youth group together. So to get those three things sorted is really important, yeah.